Liza Boubari is your expert in women's wellness and personal growth, offering practical tips to break emotional blocks, reset limiting beliefs, and take control of your life. With over 20 years of experience, Liza delivers actionable guidance to help you navigate challenges, break old patterns, and thrive, empowering you to face life with confidence and clarity. You'll leave each show with real tools to transform your mindset and your life. Ready to take the next step? Call 818-221-2797 or visit realtalk870.com to connect. And now, your host, Liza Boubari.
Mike is live.
Greetings, and welcome to Real Talk with Liza. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? This is where we make an impact one conversation at a time. So no matter where you are, in your car, in your kitchen, at home, or curled up in bed, this moment is yours. So take a nice deep breath and exhale, because this is where we get to evoke what was, embrace what is, and evolve to what it is that we truly want. So tonight it's going to be a bit different. Today I am solo. I'm going to be talking about certain things that are happening not only in the world but within ourselves. My question to you is, are you holding on to pain and yet telling yourself you're fine? When someone asks you how you're doing, you say, I'm fine. Do you feel tension in your neck, in your chest, in your jaw, especially when you are watching TV and everything that is happening in social media, not only in our city, in our state, in our country, and outside? Because there is no way you can be in a cocoon and not know what is happening. And that truly can pain us. Pain us for the destruction we see, the pain we see, and every one of us say we are here to pray for peace, for safety, and everything that is happening, right? So I don't know where you keep your tension. If it's in your neck, if it is in your chest, are you having palpitation? Your blood pressure is going up? Are you angry? No matter what is happening, nothing you do is going away. The pain cannot go away. And so tonight we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to hopefully direct you, maneuver you, guide you, and assist you to go from pain to gain. And pain to gain is an acronym. I like to create things that are in acronyms, and PAIN stands for, I want to talk about this, and it even pains me when we feel not connected, when we are personally not in touch, when we are in pain and we feel disconnected, okay? Because there is a phrase, it says, I am not what I think I am. I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am, is a very well-known quote attributed to socialist Charles Horton Cooley. And I like to say what it really means is, I don't know who I am, and I don't know who you are, but I get to know who I am by asking you what you think I should feel, and who I am. When you take your own hat off, when you take your choices, when you let go and you give your choices to someone else for them to say who you are, then you are not in your own cognitive well-being to take care of yourself. So we are going to be talking about from pain to gain tonight. And before we go further, I'm Liza Boubari. In case you don't know who I am and what I do, by trade, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, stress management consultant, and yes, speaker, author, and the founder of HealWithin. For over 24 years, I've been practicing in a what I call it a healing center, helping women and men uncover hidden emotional blocks that show up in our bodies. And that's why when we talk about mind and body connection, there's sometimes pain in our body that even doctors, when you go to medical doctors, they cannot understand what it is because pain travels. And so much of what you feel, your body responds to it. And it can show up as it can show up in your body as extra weight. It can show up as anxiety, palpitation, sleeplessness, even physical pain. And tonight we're going to be talking to you because we're going to be talking about daily habits and how you can shift daily habits and behaviors and attitudes and help yourself become healthier. Because it's not the things that you speak, it's the things you speak with when you put emotion behind it, when there is emotion and there is a feeling. And that's how incantation has been changing things, because it's not repeating affirmations all the time, but when you put an affirmation and you put emotion and movement to it, that's when the subconscious mind takes it, and I call it banks it in, right? So you can either keep stuck and remain stuck in pain, or you can move yourself into a position that you desire and your life's desire. Because Jim Rohn, who is truly the founder of affirmations and change from the conscious level, tapping into the subconscious. Actually, Tony Robbins even studied with Jim Rohn. He said, life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So every change, every small little thing that you learn, it makes an impact. As a matter of fact, if you can do something every single day that scares you, and you make a change in your life that it's outside of your norm, from your mundane comfort zone, if you come out of your repetition and doing the same thing over and over and over, like you wake up, you go and brush your teeth, and then you have your coffee, and then you get dressed, and then you say good morning, and or you take your dog for a walk. If you change that repetitive behavior and you do something completely different, you take the dog out first and then you come and have your coffee, even that small little change, what it does is changes your mind, and your mind says, wait a minute, what just happened? So that little change creates a this comfort, and your body turns around and says, let me see what's going on. Because even when you are in the gym, trainers will say the same thing. You're not supposed to do the same repetition, the same rep in the same order. You're supposed to confuse the body, and you do a set of this, and then you go and do that one, and then the next day you do weights, and then you come back, you do something else. You're supposed to do cardio, you're supposed to do weights, you're supposed to do something, because the body is supposed to be in a position that is always on a lookout or on a being aware, being heightened awareness. Okay? The same thing is with the work that I do. When someone comes to me, we go into that state of hypnosis. Hypnosis is not sleep, but it is a state of deep relaxation. And we do a transference and change things from what you believe you think to the things that your subconscious has already figured, and we change them, edit them, and reframe your mindset from the core, which is the subconscious mind. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. You can call at 866-870-5752. The phone lines are open. Is something weighing on your heart? A decision, a fear, or a challenge you can't shake? Let's talk about it, because your story matters. Join me Sundays at 10 p.m. for Real Talk with Liza, where we evoke, embrace, and evolve one conversation at a time. Our phone lines are open. Call in now at 866-870-5752, and let's have a conversation. Now back to Real Talk with Liza.
Mic is live.
Welcome back. This is Liza, and you are live on Real Talk with Liza. You can call, ask me anything that you want. Right now, we're going to be talking about pain to gain. So let's get into it. So many of my clients come in saying, I am overwhelmed. I can't sleep. I'm gaining weight and nothing works. And I just don't feel like myself anymore. So you see, what does PAIN stand for? PAIN stands for feeling powerless, feeling anxious or anxiety, having that anxiety, having insecurity. People, sometimes when we feel that internal insecurity and negative thoughts. And when we don't acknowledge it, we definitely are suppressing it. And when we suppress it, it shows up in the body, in relationships, in your voice, and in your choices. And here's the truth. What does feeling powerless really mean? That means, just as I started talking about it earlier, that means I feel I am not able to do anything about it. I believe so many of us right now are in that position, sitting here, what's happening globally, what's happening in the country, outside, in Iran, in Israel, everything that is happening. Is it war? Is it destruction? Everything that, it's not being political, but everything that is happening in the world right now has created a chaos and fear factor for so many. And that in itself, for those of us sitting behind the camera or in front of our TVs or glued to social media or behind the radio, so many of us, we the people, feel powerless. And that in itself has created so much anxiety. Anxiety within us, anxiety that when we watch something, it's created. Today, this morning, when I woke up, I got up and I did my routine. I changed my routine every single day, and I went for my walk on the pathway. And as I was one with nature and my dog, I started humming. When we hum, that creating that vibration inside, it's like acknowledging the body and saying to the body, I am awake, I am alive, and just stomping really hard and becoming aware with the sounds of the birds. It's like awakening all my senses, smelling the sage and everything. And at that moment, the only thing that I had power over was myself, my body, and what I could think and what I could feel. Anxiety is something that happens internally. It does not come from the outside. And when anxiety hits, we feel totally insecure. That means we lose security. And I think that is one of the worst things that we can feel, especially insecure in our home, in our body, and within ourselves and our surroundings. When that happens, we are in a loop with negative thoughts. And it's like you go in this hamster's loop with negative thoughts. And yet, I want to give you something. You can stop. The truth is, the body doesn't lie. The body keeps score. And it's time to listen. Listen to your body. Listen to yourself. Listen what is happening within yourself. And what if you could shift and go from feeling powerless and anxious and insecure and with negative thoughts to a whole different level, which is the G.A.I.N part. And G.A.I.N stands for a feeling of greatness and acknowledgement and feeling independent and nurtured or nourished. Greatness comes when you make that decision. As I said, when you make a shift and you confuse the body, you confuse the mind, you confuse everything internally, and your body goes into this awakeness of what is happening. Because we cannot change anything that is outside, especially globally, right? One person cannot change. It is something that we have to come together as people, as a tribe, as everyone. And that creates the greatness. But it starts with you. It starts with feeling independent and strong within yourself, strong in your body. When you feel that strength, independence, that you can stand up, that you can show up and speak up, when you feel you have that power, nothing can trump that. Internal strength, internal independence, and internal security. Because that is exactly where we're coming from. So greatness and acknowledging it to independence and feeling what? Nurturing your inner self. Acknowledge what you feel. I usually say, if you are feeling anxious, talk to your anxiety. And you can just tap upon your heart, upon your clavicle, and you say, I got you. I'm acknowledging what is happening internally. I am acknowledging that I am in pain, that I am feeling anxious, that I am angry, everything that is happening in your body, even if you have physical body. Because sometimes we don't feel the emotions, right? We don't feel when it's happening and it's all thoughts and it's a mental anguish. But when the body starts reacting, that's when you have to come to acknowledging it and say, I got you. I understand it. You're trying to protect me. I got it. And that creates this security within, independence. Yes, you can move from surviving to thriving. You can. And it starts with one decision. It starts with you. Let's go deeper, because Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you haven't heard of him, please, you can Google. He used to be a scientist. He used to think a whole different level until years ago he started practicing hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And now this is one of the biggest things that he is talking about, the mind-body connection, neuroscience, tapping within the subconscious mind. Actually, every single one that is in the self-help industry is now talking about the power that you have within yourself. And hypnosis is one of those biggest powers that you have within. Even I teach my clientele to utilize self-hypnosis so we can help heal our pain, emotional pain, physical pain within ourselves. Believe me, if I can hypnotize myself and have 8 root canals with absolutely no anesthesia, I can teach you to do the same. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality. And I said it with an emphasis so you understand your reality is the reality created by you. Meaning the thoughts you keep thinking, the emotions you keep feeding, and the behaviors you keep repeating become your own identity. But you are not your pain. You are not your weight. And you are not your past. Everything can be changed when you make a decision. Change happens when you choose. You go through change every single day. You change your clothes. You've changed who you are. You are not the same person as when you were a teenager or a child. You are not the same person when you first married, or you're not even the same person when you started your first job. And believe it or not, I don't know if you are stuck with one job and all this time, or you've changed many. My father used to say, you can't keep one job, Lisa, because every single, 5-6 years, it's not that I wasn't keeping a job. I would change law firms. I used to be an assistant to attorney. So every few years, I would go from one law firm to another because I would get bored. And when I started practicing hypnosis and hypnotherapy 24 years ago, I remember he said one thing. He said, I am proud of you since you found something that became your calling. And I think every one of us has that same thing, understanding that we change according to when we find something that drives us and moves us, and when we make an impact in someone else's life, that's when change happens within us also. That's how we heal within. We'll be right back. The phone lines are open. You can call at 866-870-5752. I'm Lisa. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Real Talk with Lisa. I offer 15-minute free consultation, so you can always call me at 818-221-2797. Again, 818-221-2797. You know, one of the things that I also offer is audio recordings that are on my website. You can go to my website, HealWithin.com, and I have 12 audio recordings. You can purchase one, download one, and listen to it every night. I've got books, and also, it doesn't matter what the subject is. If there is anything I can be helping you, be of help to you, if I can answer any of the questions, by all means, I am offering that 15-minute offer of consultation. You can always call. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if I can be of help. Someone called me the other day and said, this is not for me, but I am calling for my father because he is going through insomnia, and with everything that he is watching on TV, he cannot sleep. And I said, by all means, they've done everything possible, and he won't come out of the house because of, it's not so much of sleep, it is fear. So I know there's acronyms for everything when we say fear is nothing but false emotions appearing real, but everything that nowadays it's happening, it feels as if it is real. You know, Mel Robbins, who I admire so deeply, was once in the trenches, struggling with alcoholism, depression, anxiety. Even their marriage was on the rocks. And yet their love, their strength, everything kept them together. She was going through so much. And she changed one thing. You know what it is, what she changed? She changed from going from that pain to gain that I teach, that I have a whole program on it. And it was one thing, her habit. She used this 5-second rule, and her book that she wrote was on that. She got out of bed, and every day she was in bed and she couldn't get out of bed. There was times that she stayed in bed for days and days. And then that continued on until one day she decided, this can no longer go on. That's it. And she made that choice, and she pulled the covers off, and she counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. Got out of bed. So she created this entire thing and a whole new habits, changing a habit, and she called it the 5-second rule. Because she got real, she reclaimed her life, and she said, if you wait more than 5 seconds, then you go back to what you already know. You revert back to that comfort zone. And you know what? We do everything in life to stay in that comfort zone. Your subconscious mind will do just about everything to keep you safe. To keep you safe in pain, to keep you safe powerless, to keep you safe insecure, to keep you safe everything, like even anxious. Because that's what it knows. And that's what it has been ingrained until you decide, I am ready for the change. So it's just like a rubber band. You have to get out of that rubber band, the loop of a rubber band. Because no matter how much you stretch it, it's the moment you let it go, it's going to come back to its form. It's not going to change its form until you stretch it so much that it's going to break through. And that's how you break through. So, let's be honest. If panic attacks burn calories, some of us would be supermodels by now. Right? And if some overthinking were an Olympic sport, then we would all have a gold medal with our name engraved on it. But seriously, if your body has been talking to you, isn't it time for you to listen? Through bloating, tension, shortness of breath, headaches, or even fatigue. That's not always about age. It's emotional weight. It's emotional burdens. It's emotional pain we talk about. And guess what? You can release it. You can let it go, and I can help you. Someone asked me, what exactly is hypnosis? And here's the easiest way for me to say it. You go in and out of hypnosis every single day. Why am I talking about hypnosis again? Because I help my clients tap into their subconscious mind to shift and change habits and behaviors that is no longer conducive to their well-being. I started smoking when I was 12 years old. And I remember when I started the work that I do right now as a hypnotherapist, and this is approximately 24 years ago, the first year that I was doing it, I was still smoking. And then I decided if I'm going to help others, then I better know how to stop smoking. And I did through the power of hypnosis and dropped weight through that, released pain. Just this morning, I had excruciating pain in my body, the bottom of my feet, because when I was way before even when I was an assistant to attorney, I used to do a lot of work and training and everything, and I fractured the bottom of my feet. So by doing certain muscle movements and everything, and then I was like tapping my feet, and then to see where does it pain go to. It goes to the knee, to the hip. So I did stretches into the hip and then close my eyes, deep breathing, and as if giving a command to my hip to shift it and rotate it. And by doing that same stretch in a different modal, in a different form to the other side, I heard my hip fall into place, what we call it crack, but the sound, and then the knee fell into the kneecap and adjusted itself, and then my feet, the bottom of my feet, as I rotated my toe, it adjusted. So listening to my body, instead of staying in the pain factor, I had to do something to release the tension. And that's what you can do. If you were sitting, take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes. Make sure that you're in a safe place. Let's do this together. Deep breath in and exhale. So sit back for a moment. That's right. Find a place to sit. Lean back. Put your feet on the floor. And close your eyes if you wish. Or you can keep your eyes open. This is not a hypnosis. It is just a state of relaxation. And with your eyes open or closed, if you close it, it's much better because there is nothing for you to see. Nice deep breath. Inhale. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. One more time. Breathe in, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale slowly, gently. And silently say this to yourself. I am safe. I am calm. I choose peace within. And every time you say this, remind yourself, I am in total control and can handle this easily and gently, one day at a time. So by inhaling, you're reaffirming, you know, that point that I talked about, feeling powerless? Now you are putting power and taking power and control and reaffirming your body. I am safe. I am calm. I choose peace within. Acknowledging the pain within. that I am in control and I can handle this, and I choose to heal. Now, as you are sitting safe and sound, hopefully leaning back, breathing in and out easily and gently, feel it. Even a 60-second pause can calm your nervous system and rewire all your emotions, and especially your emotional response to triggers, to the things that are outside of you. And as you breathe in and out, move your eyes to the left without moving your eyes. It's as if look to the left without moving your eyes. And then bring your eyes to the center, look straight ahead. And as you breathe in and out easily and gently, look to the right without moving your eyes. And then bring your attention back to the center. And then look all the way up into the ceiling without moving your eyes. Because you know where the ceiling is, you know where your head is. It's as if looking all the way up, and then bring your attention back to the center. And then easily and gently, just relax from the top of your head all the way down. Let that relaxation come all the way to your forehead, around your eyes, around your temples, to the back of your ears. And whatever it is that you hear, let it come and fade away. That's it. All the while, you're breathing in and breathing out and swallowing your saliva. You do this every day, every hour, every minute, every second. And now, breathe in again. And exhale, gently and easily. Now let's do something different together. We're going to hum. And you can hum either silently or you can do it out loud. And by doing this, as you do, realize that each and every time you take only even a 60-second, 1 minute, to look from side to side, and then all the way up, and then all the way to the center, and hum, you have shifted something emotionally, physically, mentally, and even spiritually and psychically. It doesn't matter. You have shifted something within yourself, something that you were not thinking about anything else except yourself and your body, right? If you did this with me, I clap, and I recommend for you to do this exercise 1 time in the morning or 1 time at night. Now that you have taken a breath with me, here's what I want you to do next. Tonight, stop and just listen. Take this inspired action and let your healing begin within yourself. Because everything starts with a choice. Choosing that you matter, because when you heal, everything else around you is impacted with your wellness, with your health, and when you feel calm and peaceful, everything else feels the same. It's a rippling effect. Start the ripple. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Is something weighing on your heart? a decision, a fear, or a challenge you can't shake? Let's talk about it, because your story matters. Join me Sundays at 10 p.m. for Real Talk with Liza, where we evoke, embrace, and evolve one conversation at a time. Our phone lines are open. Call in now at 866-870-5752, and let's have a conversation. Now back to Real Talk with Liza.
Mike is live.
We are back. You know, tonight is different, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of my viewers on Facebook, viewers on YouTube. If you like any of my segments, either with myself or with my guests, by all means, go to YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. It's Real Talk with Liza, and it's in Liza Boubari. Just click and find Liza Boubari and subscribe to my YouTube, because every single subscription, every single like helps me generate more of this so that I can make a bigger impact in the lives of others. And of course, you can go to my website, HealWithin.com, and download a powerful audio recording. Every single thing that you do that taps within your subconscious. And when you make that change internally, you can also impact the lives of others. I work with children with fear factors, anxiety, and everything, especially nowadays with our teenagers, right? Everything is a huge thing in their life. So my youngest client is 6 years old and my eldest is 92. Just last week, I had one of our wonderful listeners that came to our group session, and it was just wonderful. She said, I was listening to your voice, and it was so beautiful, and it made me feel good inside. And why isn't your show more than an hour? Well, my lady, I was explaining to her, for that, I need people like you viewing or listening. If you would like to put your name, your brand on my show, and if it is in harmony with my message, by all means, you can put your commercial on my show. You can be one of the sponsors, your name, your logo, everything. We promote you. And if you would like to be one of my guests, by all means, DM me, message me, call me, or go to Real Talk with Liza and let me know. You see, when we think in fear and like the pain, and we can turn it into a gain, automatically it puts a smile on our face. Because just like stress, everything that happens internally, I think, cause is stress. Things that stress us and creates anxiety, and that in itself creates that loop factor, right? There's good stress, there's bad stress, what we call it duress. So someone taking a test, for them, one person is absolutely easy for them to take tests, and another person goes through sweat, hardship, anxiety for a few days until they take the test. So understanding we all feel it, and it's knowing how to handle it. Okay? So let me leave you with a final thought or final thoughts. We all know who Dr. Wayne Dyer was. Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he would say, you are not stuck unless you decide to be. We're not stuck in anything. You are not stuck either. I know when I say you have a choice, you turn around and say, no, I have no choice. But you do. That in itself is a choice. Where you are and where you're staying and where you think you have no choice, it is a choice you are making. Okay? Mel Robbins says, She reminds us you're one decision away from a completely different life. I can quote so many people, and everyone says the same thing. You can have a guru like Sadhguru who says the same thing. You can go to your parishioners and you can go to church. Your priest will say the same thing. You go to a synagogue, they will say the same thing. And it doesn't matter. We all say it starts with you. That's why when I say, isn't it time for us to show up in life for the things we want? Because even coming to work, you have to show up to work. When you want to get married, you have to show up in church. When you want to make a decision, you have to show up for yourself. And standing up, oh my God, that takes guts. But standing up for yourself, it's not saying that I am being aggressive towards somebody else, but it is standing up for the decisions that you want to make, for the things you desire, for the things that you require. And when you speak up, remember you do have a voice. And Heal Within starts when you start honoring yourself. Okay? Because I say, you've come this far. Why stop now? Let's go from numb to nourished, from anxious to aligned, and from pain to gain. The decision is yours. When I started my sessions, my practice, not my sessions, there was a gentleman who came in and he was a smoker and he wanted to stop smoking. And he had tried everything, even tobacco and chewing and everything. He was this big guy. And I remember him, he had the pack right there on his shirt in the pocket, on the side of his pocket, right? He came in for the first time, second session, third session, fourth session. He had reduced the cigarettes, but he had not stopped smoking. And I remember when he came in the fifth session, he says, apparently this is not working. Kiddo, it's not working. And I said, that's fine. Maybe you don't want to stop. He says, that's why I've been coming over here, for you to help me stop smoking, to quit smoking. And that's the words that he was using. I said, what if instead of quitting, you stopped? And is this a decision that you have made? Because I know I can help just about anyone stop smoking in less than 4 sessions. When the desire is there, automatically the subconscious will take that. It becomes its own command. And he says, you know, it's a hard thing. I've needed this thing because I've had 2 divorces, bankruptcies, my kids are not talking to me, and this is my only thing that is with me day in, day out, when I need it, when I'm emotional, or when something goes wrong. And that moment, the moment he said, this is my buddy, he realized it. And he says, well, this is one buddy I no longer want. And he never smoked again. So this is Real Talk with Liza, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me, because you matter and your healing matters. So stop being a quitter and take that pain. Let's take it into greatness. And no matter where you are, show up for yourself, stand up for yourself, and we can talk and speak together. Until next week, God bless you, and may the universal light surround you always. Isn't it time to heal within? Good night, dear.